Hello everyone, my name is Alvaro Zamora. I am part of the Sourcing Excellence team in Tampa. I want to welcome everyone to my tutorial on how to automate the delivery of multiple emails with different attachments. This comes also in response to my latest Yammer post. I appreciate your participation. It was very helpful to understand what type of processes we have in place to take on these type of tasks. And for those viewers that are not aware of what tasks we have in hand, let me explain. So we have 100 recipients. 100 recipients. They all belong to a team. There are 10 different teams, and each of the team is working on a specific project, and each one of the projects will have their respective attachment. Now, how do we make this a simple task that we can complete quickly and effectively? That's what I'm about to show you. So we're going to use this Excel file as our little database. First column has the email recipients. We have name and subject, which we're going to use in our body. And I decided to create the body of the email in the Excel file because that way I only need to create it one time, make it dynamic, reference the different cells, and that's going to help me to create it one time and be able to just complete the rest of the file with that one cell. Now, how do we do that? Let's inspect this a little bit closer. So we double click in the cell. You see that we use ampersand symbols, and we just reference the name, and in here, which is already the body of the email, we reference the subject because we want to make reference to that. And you see this funny looking symbol here, chart 10. That is a line break. So the reason I'm using it is just for formatting purposes and to make it look like a natural email, as you can see here. Now, as I mentioned, we create it one time, make it dynamic. We double click on the bottom right corner of the cell, and you see how it is completed. I'm gonna unwrap the text just to make sure that we save some room on the screen, and we move on to the next column, which is the attachments. That's very important to note that we need the full path in order to make Outlook able to attach the file that you need. Now, how do we do that? How do we get the full path? That's what I'm going to show you right now. It's actually fairly simple. As you see, I completed a column ready for the sake of time, but I'm missing file number 2. So what do I have to do? I go to the file, I hit the shift key and hold it down and right click. Now I go to copy as path. I'm gonna just control V there, double click on the bottom right corner of the cell and complete the file. So that's the first part of this exercise. Now the second part needs us to have developers tab in the Excel application, but this is not by default in the app. So how do we get it? We go to file, we go all the way down to options, and we go to customize ribbon, and we make sure that we have selected the developer tab. Once you select that, you hit OK, and immediately you will see that developer tab on your ribbon there. Now we go here and we're going to create a macro. Now there's a little bit of code, but I simplified it very much so that anyone without coding experience can implement this without problem. And again, if you have questions or want some details about the code, please reach out. I'll make the code available to anyone. So we double click here, or we click one time, Visual Basic window. I have the code here ready for us. We're gonna run through it. Now, since we're gonna use Outlook, we're gonna make sure that we enable that tool from the Excel. So we're gonna go to that Tools tab, References, and we're gonna make sure that we have that Microsoft Outlook object library. By default, it's not marked, so make sure that you go there, check it, hit OK, because otherwise we're not gonna be able to generate those items that we need. Now, this is the block of code, and I name it Email Automaton. It could be whatever you want. You can call it foo or fa. It does not matter. It should work. Now, we have the second line on error resume next. That just means that if we encounter while executing the program a problem, so like for example an invalid email or a line without the body or without attachment, I want Excel to continue running that. Then we have 3 variables. We have O mail, and I. When I set dim, I'm just like telling the Visual Basic what type of variable it is. In this case, it's an Outlook application. O mail is going to be an Outlook mail item, and dim is going to be a long. This is just a type of number, and I'm going to use it to navigate through all my list of contacts. Now let's move down a little bit and we're gonna go to the fun part. This is the loop. So first we get the value of I as 1 because I want to start in the first row. I will change with each one of the iterations. You'll see that in a moment. Now the range is what you need, right? So in this case I have 100 recipients. 101 lines including the headers. I put 102 just to have a little buffer there. Should not be necessary. And then you have this end method. It just tells Excel to end once you do not find any more data. Now let's go here with OMail. This is a keyword in Visual Basics. With this starts the loop. So let's do a round. Okay, so we have set OMail. O create item. So we're just gonna set OMail as a new item. Now we have 3 required fields: recipient, subject, and body. Without that, we will not be able to generate the emails and we will encounter problems. So we are gonna use these 2 arguments. So we have I, which is dynamic, so it will increment with each of the iterations of the loop. So I say the recipient is gonna be column I. In this case, it's gonna be the first one, and I want it to go to column, and this is the index of the column number 1, so email. So 2 is I, column 1. Then we have the same process for the subject and for the body. Column I, or row I, column 3, row I, column 4, so on and so forth, and for the attachment. And again, the I will increment on each of the iterations. Now, this keyword display will, as it says, display the email instead of sending it. Now, when you're implementing this and ready to execute, you need to change the display word for send, from display to send. That's what you need to have there in order to actually execute. That's not going to be the case in this example. I'm going to hit display so you can see how is Visual Basic operating in conjunction with the Outlook application. Then we're going to make sure we close the loop, we close the section, and we close the block of code. Now Control S to save, and we can now run this macro into different ways. We can run it straight out of the Visual Basics window. We just gotta click the run button there that looks like a play button, or we can go, since we saved it already, to the macros here in Excel. You see how my macro is already there, and we're gonna hit run. Once I run this file, you will see each one of the emails popping up in the screen. Each one of them has the respective recipient with the appropriate subject line with the respective attachment to whatever project is that they're working on. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or want further details, please reach out to my Yammer or send me an email. Thank you.